people, I'm going to leave the mics on for now. If if something happens and it's really noisy, then I'll start muting mics, but it's not too bad right now. What we're going to work on today are windows, and talking about, so in terms of patterns and handling, what this would be about is patterning the dog to a high information content area. So in general, when we're thinking, especially in interiors, information content areas, that would be thresholds. Thresholds hold a lot of information, and corners. Corners also hold a lot of information. But windows are way high up on that list as well, because the window holds heat differently. And if the window's open or closed, it'll change the air currents in the room. The windows can really make or break a search and make or break a hide. If you're a judge or a CO, that's one of the things you're thinking about as you're setting hides. You might set a hide here, like, I really want to set a hide here, but this window is going to interfere with it. And so you are always having to take those into account at that level of thinking. So working with windows will really help you to appreciate how to make hides work in a different way. And so we're going to start with just setting 2 hides near a window and on a window. Okay. And it can be the same window or it can be different windows. I don't really care. And then don't open the windows yet, because on round 3, I'm going to have you change the airflow in some way. I'm going to have you open a window or turn on a fan or do something to change the airflow. But particularly opening and closing windows is going to be really, it's going to be really telling. Each time we've done this, opening and closing the window has changed the odor quite significantly. So go ahead and set up your hides. So I want to hide near a window, nearby to a window, and a hide on a window. And the hide near a window, I want you to set it in such a way that you think the window will interact with that hide. And if you're not sure how, then just experiment. That you should feel free to kind of play with it. That's how you learn about what windows will actually do to odor.
And how far away is the one that's near the window? Does it matter?
So I want you to set it up in such a way that you think it'll interact with the hide. And so, I mean, I've seen hides interact with windows all the way across a huge room, right?
Okay.
So it's more of a matter of testing a hypothesis. I think this hide will interact with the window in this way. You set the hide, and then you see if you're right or wrong.
Okay.
Hi, Tammy.
I'm supposed to be working.
Okay, no problem. So just so you guys know, this will probably be a shorter class, because the other working spot who's not here was 3 of the dogs.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, so we'll work, and we'll try not to overdo it with your dogs, but we'll do a good 4 rounds or so.
So I can show you what I did. You can make suggestion if I'm first, I think.
Sure. And you will be first, so I'll go ahead and spotlight your video.
Okay. So there's a lot of airflow through this door, I can feel. So I put it right on it's a dog door.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he won't try to go through it, but I put the hide right there on it. And then I have a hide here on this item here. Now, I don't know if you'd rather it be on the wall or if the item's okay. Yeah, okay. I just thought the air tends to come at you here. So I thought about putting something here for the hides to come onto, but I don't know if you want to go that route or if I should just leave it how it is.
Let's leave it how it is for now. And we can adjust each round as we play with the windows. I think the main goal here is to bring your dog's attention to windows because it's useful. Having a dog who is interested in or near windows will help them with all the hides that might be in that room. Just like corners, just like thresholds.
And I can go off leash? Is that the plan?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that.
Very reluctant to come out today. I don't know what that's all about. He's going to be a Klingon. We've been working on him working away from me, but
That's fine.
he also hasn't had breakfast, so he's a little bit, this is funny.
It's because you put a pink harness on him. Poor
It's
baby.
actually bright orange.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it's the same color as the cones there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And he is British field lines, so he can be a hunting dog with his bright orange. So he's working this window nicely. You can see the airflow must be going up. So
You can see these hides are somewhat challenging, for just being a hide there.
Oh, good
And
boy.
notice
Did you
how he
find
catches that hide from that area, right?
Yeah.
We're not
that
even
was
sure if he was working the other hide because he worked all that odor and then tracked it
Yeah,
back to here.
I think so. So should I pick up this hide?
Yes. And
Okay.
so that's what I'm exactly trying to highlight is that window, that heat differential where the airflow is changing, that is really affecting this hide all the way over here away from the door.
Okay. And he's decided he's done, so he doesn't know the other hide's there. So we'll see what happens. He's not that experienced overall, so it'll be interesting. Okay, now
He's working that wall in a really interesting way.
He's going, wait a minute.
And notice how high he's going too. What's the temperature where you are?
Oh, you found it. Good boy.
Dog.
I guess I can only tell you in Celsius. I think it's probably 12.
Is it hot or normal or cold?
No. It's kind of normal for a rainy day.
Okay, cool.
Good boy.
Because that heat will change the way a window works completely. And I know we did it in some of my students in California where it was like 90 or 100 outside. And so that definitely, and in those cases, you may even want to touch the window to make sure it's not too hot and you don't burn your dog's nose when they go to it.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? Okay, well, that was good. That was interesting how that worked.
Awesome.
Do you have a comment for the next one so I can set up while I'm?
No, we're gonna basically repeat it with moved hide. So you're gonna do another hide near and another hide on, but we're just gonna move them. So.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to Allison.
Okay. So I think you'll be able to see it. There's one hide here on the window.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got another hide on the leaf of the table. Can you see that one?
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Buddy, go find it. Yes, what a good boy.
Good.
What a good boy. Yes, good job. Oh, and pick it up.
Yes. Isn't that interesting? Especially contrasting it to how the dog worked the first hide.
Right. Yeah, it went right past it. His nose went right. Yes!
There you
what
go.
a good boy. Good job. Good job, bud.
Same thing. So you're going to move the hides for the next round. You may play with the curtains as well and see how opening or closing them or placing the hide near or behind them might interact with it. But great example, too, of how challenging window hides can be. And I don't know, it seems to me like a lot of people don't go out of their way to set hides on windows too often. Considering how challenging they are.
Exactly. Yeah.
And again, they can really make or break a hide in the trial. I've seen dogs completely bypass hides near windows because of this exact thing. They just walk right by it, don't even catch it.
Yeah.
And so COs are going out of their way to make sure that doesn't become too big of a problem. But on the flip side, I think it's not too hard to train if we just trained it.
Right. Okay, cool.
Okay, we're going to go to Melissa now. And Gene and Jerry, just so you know what we're doing, we're setting hides near windows. So find a window if you can. If you don't have a window, then just pick a corner. You're going to set 2 hides, one near the window and one on the window. And what we're doing is seeing how the window interacts with the odor.
Okay, so there's one hide here.
Okay.
On this little lamp that's by the window. And then there's one hide here that's on like the stick that you use to adjust the blinds.
Okay, cool.
Michael, we're outdoors, so should we just put it outside the window?
Sure, you can do it that way.
Mama? Mama? Where do you have the hide hid?
Yes, good boy. So it actually apparently fell while he was working and is now on the couch. Good boy. Go find more. Can you still see?
Man, his nose is really going. Now, windows especially create challenges with high hides because, again, because there's going to be more heat pumping through those windows usually. Hides can tend to rise and fall in strange ways near windows. Now, I used to find that a lot in classes too, that the dog would cue in on the camera. And I thought it was really interesting because the camera is hidden in the same way we hide a hide, right? We clearly placed it there and it wasn't always there. And so I do think that the dogs sometimes treat them like their hides.
Yeah.
Not to mention we touch them with our hands that may have a little bit of odor on them or not.
There. All right, come on. Get to work.
The other thing I want to point out, I just want to make a point of this for now. Well, we'll see in a second. That notice that how we handle the dog's interest in the phone in the camera. We basically just ignore it, allow the dog to investigate it, and move on. I think that's the same exact way we should interact with residual odor. That the dog will eventually learn that it doesn't pay and move on, and we shouldn't go out of our way to tell the dog, no, you've already found it, or good dog, move on. We shouldn't do any of that stuff. That's what actually confuses the dog because all of that feels like a kind of a soft reinforcer. Nice.
Yes.
There you
Good
go.
boy.
Nicely done.
Good boy.
Okay, well done. Let's move over to Gene and Jerry.
What did Eugene say?
Okay, so Gene and Jerry, you guys are running 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's bring your first dog out and show us where the hides are.
Okay.
Look at it. Put his legs right.
One here by the mat
Okay.
and one here up by the window.
Okay, can you turn the camera a little bit to the left so I can see more of the screen door?
Okay, let me move this chair.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's much better.
Okay. I'm gonna get Gretchen.
Thank you.
Gretchen, get ready. George, wait. No, wait. Okay, so where am I starting her?
Anywhere you want to start her.
Okay, let me get this out of here. I have to grab my treat, sorry. I'll be fine today. Get ready. Ready? Search.
Well, he hasn't been, is he there?
And actually, even outdoors in a situation like this, especially in a covered area like this, the windows are going to hold information content. So it's not like it's only useful inside, it's also useful outside.
Yes. I thought it was on the other side. Yes. Yes.
Well, you can't blame me for that one because I didn't set it.
No. Yes. Should I pick it up? She usually
Yes.
leaves it.
Pick it up.
Can't see you over here.
And the reflection in the screen door is actually kind of helpful here.
Probably should have put the case away. But she caught it. Yes.
Nice. Good dog.
Ah, very good. Very good.
Okay, so as you go to put her away, put that first hide back where it was and run your second dog.
Okay.
arm or no?
No. Come on, good girl, wait.
Does he have his thing on?
Jerry is next.
Awesome.
Morgan.
Good boy.
And so for the second and third rounds, we'll have you guys space out between the other people so you have a little bit more time to prepare between dogs.
Michael, on or off leash?
Your choice.
Morgan, you ready? Sir. Right. Boy. Very good.
Good dog.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Okay. Okay.
He's running in our backyard snorting.
There's a lot of odor falling off of that shelf, like way more than you'd think.
You have a fan on your arm?
And see, this is one where I would be tempted to have kept him on leash so I could keep him in the area. But I think moving out further actually helped him to sort that there was a problem up there. So, you know, I'm always back and forth about more control, less control.
What do you-
He ran out in the yard again, snorting.
It's interesting. I think it seems to be like a clearing your palate kind of thing. He obviously knows there's odor in that area, unless he thinks it being up on the shelf means he can't have it, but I don't think that's the case.
Pretty grass. Right. He must have a tummy ache. He's trying to eat grass.
Yeah, now he's eating grass.
Okay, let's go ahead and bring him back. If he's eating grass, go ahead and bring him back.
Okay. Come here, Mom. Come on.
Although I posted a video recently where Catfish ate grass for, I don't know, 20 seconds of the video.
It worries me because he's had pancreatitis before.
Okay. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was going to finish. All right. Is he supposed to finish?
No, yeah, he can still finish. He can still finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's almost there. Yeah, take it. And get him up there with the treat, yeah. So that may be an argument in favor of the control, because bringing him back with the leash definitely refocused him, right?
Got right on it.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so put that first hide back, and we'll let Jean go with her second dog.
Good boy. Here.
Oh, you took this one?
Good boy. Okay.
And you have the treats, please. I'm going to put this. You grab yours.
Okay, hold on there, tiny boy. Little guy.
I have some.
Okay. I let our kid boy. Come on, get up. Up.
Come on, George. Run.
No.
Ready? Ready?
Good boy.
Search. Not in there. So look at me.
Nice, nice.
Good
That hide is
boy.
moving
Very
super far, super far. Okay, good. So for round 2, you're just gonna do the same concept, something near a window and something on a window. You're just gonna move those hides, okay? So we're gonna go back to Brenda to see her round 2, and then we're gonna come back to Jean and Jerry to see what they have, and then just interweave them between all the rest of you. Okay, Brenda. So what did you set
Okay.
up?
I have one on this light switch here,
Okay.
and then I moved the hide. It was down here, and now it's here.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Good boy.
Nice.
Who found that one really fast? Nice job. Nice job. Good boy. Oh, look at
Nice.
you. Nice. That was great. Good job. Good
Nice.
job. So he really wrapped the corner coming out and went right to work. So
Definitely.
That was
That
nice.
was great. And he definitely used the information that it's pulling in both the corner and the window and the door, the threshold, all of that is factoring into this. So 2 hides again, near and on, but I want you to change the airflow in this room somehow. You could turn
Okay.
on a fan, you could crack the door, you could open a window, you could do all those things, some of those things, just change the airflow in some way.
So could I leave the door open and let him search with the door open, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Okay, let's go to Jean and Jerry and see what they have set up.
Okay,
Okay.
we have one, you said keep one in the same area but different.
Yep.
So we put one up on the handle high up there,
Cool.
right there. And then on this other one, I'll move this. And this, you see the round barrel on the back and there's a scale on top of it?
Yes.
There's a hide on top of the scale.
Okay. Wow. 2 high hides. Okay, cool.
Okay. Well, there's no other way for me to be near the window.
Okay.
Unless you want to put it by the lattice.
Well, he wanted it by the window.
Ready?
Don't turn on any fans on the inside of the house, right? Just leave it the way it is.
Yeah, for now.
Ready? Reggie, ready? Search.
And I think what I want you to do for the next round of searches is close the glass part of the screen door to see if that prevents the odor from coming in and out of the house. See what that does. It may have no effect, but you never know.
Doors. Place. Yes. And go over here a little.
Very nice.
Okay. Reward.
Right here. Yeah.
Good girl.
Very good. Very good. I'm gonna take the Good girl. Come on, let's go. Don't sit. Don't sit. Good.
Nice.
There.
What's
There
the
you
temperature
go.
in California?
It's in the, well, right now, it's supposed to be like 85 today, but it's
Okay.
probably in the low 70s now.
Okay, so it's not too bad.
No, thank
Awesome.
goodness. Good
Okay,
job.
good job. So we're gonna go over to Allison, and then we'll come back to you guys in a second. Okay, whenever you're ready, Allison.
Okay, so the first hide is behind this drape. So it's about maybe a foot, foot and a half in.
Okay, that's just off the camera, but that
Okay.
good.
And then the other one is on the back of this chair.
Cool. Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good boy. Good job.
I think the curtain actually made it easier. Like
Right.
it captured and funneled the odor. It turned it into a channeling hide.
Yeah. Yes, I think you ran right into that. He turned around and there it was. Good boy. Okay, good.
Okay, very nice. And you're doing the same thing. You're changing the airflow in some way. And we're going to go to Jean and Jerry again.
Okay. So I don't really have to pair it because it's too hard for me to get it.
Hold on.
Thank you, Jean.
You ready? Search.
The wind just picked up a little more.
Yeah, we can hear it in the chimes.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Did he take that?
I might. I mean, it depends on, do you think your dog will do better than that?
Yeah.
Then you can wait. But that said, you can, and this is, I think a lot of people get confused when I'm praising the dog for doing a good job and they haven't found it yet. I'm not saying you should necessarily reward him. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with admiring your dog for doing good work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would take that.
Good boy. Very good boy. Very good. Right up here, Marty. Here it is. Look at that. You found it. It was a good boy. Yeah. And you hit it way up here and you hit it by you. Boy. Okay. Why if he's smelling it out of my pocket?
That's fun. Oops. Free treat. I need to pick up any.
Yeah, he's catching this odor over and over again, but he's not sticking with it for very long.
No.
So I think just for the sake of experimentation, let's choke up on the leash just a little bit and work him on a little bit of a, not a tighter leash, but a shorter leash. And just see what happens if we stay a little closer.
Good boy.
So that's interesting
Very good.
because a lot of work can be done by not tightening the leash and not directing the dog, but just moving a little closer to the dog.
So what gives him a sense of support?
Maybe, or I couldn't necessarily tell you. I think
Maybe
support is part
it
of it.
makes the odor pool a little more.
It could be that you're stirring up the odor more or capturing the odor on your body a little bit more. It's hard to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, good. Okay, we're going to go to Melissa, and then we'll come back and do your last dog in a bit.
Okay, George.
Okay.
There's one hide up here on the actual window blind, in the
Okay.
corner. And then the other hide is on the chair, and it's on the back of the chair, on the top of the back,
Awesome.
by this window.
Whoa.
Yes.
Nice.
Good boy. Good boy. That was very good. Very good. Good job. Good. Let's go find more.
Interesting how they sometimes just walk past them like that, right?
Yeah.
I think that this is a real part of the mystery. Like, if we're talking about trial hides and frequently missed hides at trial, like the most missed, I would say, well, one of the most missed hides in trial would be a threshold hide. And that's almost always a handler error. The handler didn't go back to the threshold. The handler rushed through the threshold, this and that, whatever. And it's usually fairly easy to fix. But the corner hide or this type of hide, the dog just walks past it. It's not like the handler didn't support them. It's not like the handler didn't go there. The dog just walked completely past it. And these windows and corners totally wreak havoc with odor. And they're super important and worth training.
There was a hide in the trial I was in with Vader that it was in a windowsill, and
Ooh.
not a single dog found it.
Yep. Yep, that's not surprising. He's convinced that camera has got to be important.
I know, he ran right at the camera when I let him go.
I know, I felt like I should have a bite sleeve on. It was a little threatening.
It's interesting that this time he keeps leaving the room when he didn't last time.
Yeah, and it's also interesting that that area is the harder area. The hides on this side were the easier ones, and that side, whether it's on the window or not, seem to be proving more challenging.
It's even lower than it was, and it's completely accessible to him on all four legs, and he's walking right past it.
Yep.
So you just checked out the spot where the hide was before. I'm assuming some of that odor from that hide that was there dropped behind the couch, since he just kept checking underneath the couch and behind the couch.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what happens next round when you place the hide back there and change the wind currents.
Yeah.
He wants something that's back there.
Yeah. So then the question is, should I open those windows or should I open this one over here?
Open both of them if you can.
I can.
Why be scientific about it and only open one window at a time when you can just ruin it, although everything, and open everything? Wow, even detailing it, this is challenging.
I think he's caught it, and it looked to me like he caught it underneath the table. Yes, good boy.
Very nice.
Like over on this corner, it looked like he actually caught it under that table. And
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Detail it to work it out.
And notice that he seemed to need to work it from the window.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gene and Jerry, one more dog.
George. Ready, George? Oh, yeah.
Make sure, Jerry, that you move out of the way so we can see that hide that's behind you. And so interesting that he had that memory of the hide being up there and jumps right up there.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Very
a good thing you didn't take it
good.
because
Very
the earlier one
good.
had nothing to do with the odor. It had to do with memory.
Good
Let me get it
job.
out of here so it doesn't stick.
that one.
The wind's kind of blowing across this way.
Okay. Yeah, they're all finding this. Well, Gretchen found the hide on the screen door much simpler, but the last two dogs are challenged by this hide.
Maybe I should try shorter.
Yeah, try it. So just stay closer to the dog, right? You're not pulling on the dog or necessarily guiding them, but you're just moving in a way that's closer to the dog. Actually, this is something that's been suggested for me to do with catfish as well. And so I'm glad I'm letting you guys be the guinea pig for me, testing it out. But
He's getting it.
yeah, it's amazing how just being a little closer changes it, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh, what a good boy.
boy.
That was awesome.
Now, the main reason that this was recommended to me was, or the advantage that the trainer felt of this was that the dog doesn't develop the association that when you step in, it means you're going to pay them. So that because you're close enough to begin with that the dog just gets used to you being close. And so I thought that was really, really interesting. So we're going to go to round 3. The point of round 3 is we are working on changing the airflow in the room. So, sorry, we're going to Brenda. Let me find your camera. There you are.
Okay.
So how did you change the airflow?
Okay. I will put the phone down.
Whoop.
Did you get dizzy there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So the door is propped open.
Awesome.
It's got a cone in it to kind of hold it there. The hide is here,
Okay.
and I can feel the air flowing in here like crazy. I got this cone to keep the door from swinging too much. And then I've got the other hide here. It's on the stool.
Okay.
I did put these things here thinking maybe the odor would catch on them and the dog would do a nice working back thing. I don't know if you want me to tweak that, or is that okay?
That's perfect. I think
Okay.
it's definitely worth doing this kind of stuff. That a propped open door is completely different than a fully open door.
Yes.
All those things should be played with.
Okay, good. It'll be interesting to see what happens. No. I can hear you. Okay. He's so excited. He's hard to put his harness on. He's in his own little quiet way. A little
He
jerk
caught
to
that
change the
one, but he
behavior.
didn't stick
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, he found that one right away. Look at you. That was, I thought it would be the other way around. I did. You are a good boy. All right. Take that one away. It's hard for me to proof being close to him, so it's good. This is good for him.
Definitely.
Work without me there. So this is working how I like. Perfect. And he found it. Yay!
Beautiful. Nicely done.
God. At least he went by it a little bit, at least.
Yeah, that was great. And so the question we're going to ask after this round for everyone is, do you think it was made easier by opening up the air or more difficult? And so watch this dog and watch all the other dogs and kind of develop an idea.
Okay, and this is the last round, or does he have another setup?
Oh, we're gonna do. Maybe we'll do one more. Maybe not. I'll look at the time
Okay.
after we're about halfway through.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gene and Jerry, what have you got?
What I did was we put the hides now outdoors,
Well, they've been out.
but I mean, meaning not near a window. So
Okay.
it's on the table and we got one hide, we've been doing high. There's one low one here,
Okay.
and one low one over here.
Okay.
We turn on the fan here and we turn on the fan here.
Okay, awesome. So it'll be interesting to see how the fan affects the same space that you've been working in.
The fan isn't on high, it's kind of low. You want me to kick it up?
No, it's fine. I mean, if you wanted to be scientific about it, then you do them on low, you do them on medium, you do them on high, and compare them at the same times of day on different days. Yeah, so
But I'm not doing it scientifically, so what do you want?
it's fine the way it is.
You got it. That one pretty easy.
Good girl. Good job. Good job.
Want me to take that, Mama? I'll put it in an unused book bag. So try moving closer to her, see if that works.
Yes. Good girl.
Well, and you know, it's worth mentioning that this is why we emphasize independent work of the dog, because I think it really is harder for the dog to work the further they are from you in general. That's why we have to drill it. But so yeah, definitely something interesting.
Girl.
Good job.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go to Allison. Hang on, you're muted. Okay, you're good now.
Okay. Let's see here. I think that's good. So I've got the one hide inside the window well here,
Mm-hmm.
behind the drape,
Mm-hmm.
both windows open. And then the other hide is here on the humidifier.
Awesome.
So they've got to kind of work beyond the chair to get in that corner.
Great.
Oh, look at you, my little man.
Good dog.
Good boy. Good job. He's checking out where it was last. The nose is really going.
Yeah.
Yes,
Beautiful.
what a good boy.
Nicely done.
Good boy. Good job.
Okay. Very nice. We're gonna go to back to Gene and Jerry then.
Okay.
Here's Morgan.
I'm gonna get Mama. Oh, here's some stuff. Morgan? Or stay. Good boy.
Nice.
Very good boy. Very good boy.
Almost, George.
Good boy.
Nice. Very nice.
Very good boy.
Seemed very focused that run.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Boy.
Okay.
Boy. Come,
2 more dogs to go, and then we got to form our opinions on whether it was easier or harder with more open airflow.
come on this side there, buddy.
Okay, Melissa, what have you got?
Okay, so this window's open.
Mhm.
This window is closed. The hide is hanging from the little drawstring right here.
Okay.
This window's open. And since we've had it high over here, I dropped it. So it's
Cool.
actually on the base. And I started to move the camera to somewhere that's actually better, but then I put it back where it was since he has been obsessed with it.
Yeah. And then we move it, and then he's going to be really obsessed. He's like, why do they keep moving this thing? That is so funny how interested he is in it.
Because there's a bookshelf in that corner that I could have put you on.
Okay.
Yes, good boy.
Very nice. Was he looking out the window for a little bit?
Yes, he looked
Yeah.
out the window for a second. Good boy. Good for more.
It's actually really hard with the lighting to tell his freeze from just looking at something out the window.
Yeah, he was looking. Those blinds are usually shut on purpose because then the dogs can't see out of the house.
I know my blinds are always shut too because we don't want our dog start obsessing looking at birds or people.
Nope. So he's really detailing in that hallway. So my guess would be with the windows open that there's some odor blowing into that hallway because he's in there like spinning in circles working the walls.
And the difficult area where there's been a hide every round, he hasn't even checked it yet.
No.
It's really interesting to me. You'd think that he'd go, maybe I should go check over there. really is interesting that he's not going to that area.
Yeah, he's detailing in the hallway again.
And there's all those tennis balls back there, so it's not like they don't go back there.
No. Yes, good boy.
Well, there you go. As soon as he got back there, he had it. So.
Yeah, it seemed easy once he got back here.
Yep.
But he didn't seem to have any drive to come back here.
That's interesting. I wonder why.
Well, it makes me wonder if that window is maybe blowing all the odor out that way.
It's possible, but you didn't expect him to catch it and go back. Yeah. But he didn't even seem to catch the odor from out here and go there, you know? It's like he didn't catch it until he was almost on top of it.
Yeah, same.
That's fascinating. Okay, anyways, back to Gene and Jerry.
Ready? Search. Yes. Good boy. Very good. Very good. Yes. Good boy.
Wow, very nice.
Very good. Good job, George. Good boy, George.
Very nice.
Good job.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So what were people's feeling? Do they think it was easier or harder with the more airflow or more movement in the air?
I was thinking with Harry, I'm not sure if his experience at doing this made it easier for him or if it was the airflow. I guess that's the thing, trying to figure that out.
Absolutely.
He would have got more experience, right? And then he could have solved problems quicker, perhaps.
Yep. And he also warmed up, you know, so even, you know,
Yep.
in terms of experience, but also just in terms of being warmed up, even without the experience. Maybe if you had done 5-6 hides elsewhere and then come here with it would have been better.
So maybe I would say at this point I can only say that he got faster with the airflow. Yeah.
Good. Anybody
Yeah,
else?
same for Buddy. It seemed like he was quicker too.
Yep.
Definitely for Gene and Jerry's dogs, right?
Yeah. They were all quicker.
The air movement seems to create, obviously what we don't see, but a trail or your cone far better than if there's no air movement. And it also eliminates pocketing, it seems, as well.
Okay.
I would think that it would make it harder myself because if there's no air movement, you would think the odor would just sit there and kind of bake and they could go directly. It's going to be so potent they go directly to it, where with the air it kind of mixes it up a little. So it's all.
I think it's like a trail, like Mike says. It's like a
trail.
And you're like following to it, where if it isn't there, where is it in the overall area? Anyway.
Yep.
I wish they could talk.
Yeah. What about you, Melissa?
Maybe.
I felt like the first hide that was up high was the hardest one for him, but that may have just been because it was up high and it was also technically suspended. Whereas I felt like the other hides after that were easier. I did think it was interesting that window was like super easy to them.
Yeah, even the suspended hide you did there was a piece of cake.
Yeah. But I felt like I got more detailing with all the windows opened. Like he was like really like sniffing everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's this idea a lot of people have about wind and how challenging wind can be. I will take a windy environment over a still, stale environment any day.
Really?
Any day. It's so much harder in my experience to work in those conditions. Whereas even if it's windy, even if it's blustery, at least the dog, there's odor moving. So at least my dog can catch it. Even if they have trouble sourcing it in the end, at least they catch it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I agree. I think I find if it's still, then the odor doesn't go very far and it's very close to the hide compared to when it's moving and the dog has a chance to catch a cone.
Yeah, so to Gene's point that, it may collect there and be this big pop. So if the dog happens to stumble upon it, it's boom, it's there, it's obvious. But you just better hope that your dog stumbles upon it, because if they're out in that environment in the wrong place, they're wandering around like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a trial, one of the nosework trials in Moore Park, and there were like 10 chairs, and it was on this a bunch of basketball courts. It was a huge area. And I had Boo Boo at the time, and he was about 15, 20 feet away from the chairs and ran a circle. And when he got to the side the wind was blowing, picked out the one chair and hit it.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, look at that. It was like an arrow right to him.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and can there be situations where there are walls and the wind is swirling and makes it really difficult? Sure. But even the cases here, like you've got fans on, and so it's not like the air is just one direction moving this way. It's being pushed down, being brought up, and swirling. The dog still found it easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good
Cool.
time.
Very
All right,
cool.
well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Any questions before I call it a day?
I had a question.
Go ahead.
It was just about you said about the moving closer, or in other words, shortening the leash is how people would think about it. And instead you said thinking of moving closer instead, as opposed to restricting the dog, which is what most people think when you think, so it's actually a good point. I guess I was just clarifying it to that you're moving in, you're actually, I guess it could be support, it could be help in that respect, but it also isn't, you're not actually controlling more with your leash, at least.
Yeah,
right?
And you can do the same thing off leash. In fact,
Right,
I was thinking
exactly.
about having Melissa do it on the last round, just step in and stay a little tighter to him. And words can be somewhat deceptive, so I'm a little bit hesitant to label what I think is happening, whether it's supportive or not. I was a little hesitant before too, because it may not be. It may be inhibitory. It may be that you being close to them is like someone watching over their shoulder, like, oh, I better not goof off, I better focus. I'm not sure. It might be that the dog feels supported, or might feel that the dog feels somewhat like more, there's that authoritative presence there. I'm not sure. It could be either way.
Yeah, you don't know
both.
till you try it.
Yeah,
I think, and one thing I noticed today with Harry is I'm very close to him in there. Before that would have made him operant, or at least looking at, and now he's actually starting to work with me closer.
Yeah,
and that is helping him.
That's great.
Yeah, good.
Anything else from our auditors or otherwise?
Nope, all good. Thank
time.
you. Good
Awesome.
job.
Great.
All right.
We'll see
Thanks
you
for coming
soon.
out today.
All
I
right.
have
Thank
to
you very
look
much.
and see when
Thanks.
we're up next.
Good
Okay.
class.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
You want to set the hides?
Yeah.